Hey, it's David with Beat Your Face Commander. Today's deck tech is going to be Syr Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale. Syr Gwyn's a 5/5 human knight with vigilance and menace. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, you draw a card and lose a life. An equipment you control to equip knights costs 0. So, for our land base on Syr Gwyn, I run 9 mountains, 10 plains, and 10 swamps. Additionally, there's a command tower, Orzhov Basilica, and Caves of Kolios, as well as some fetch lands. We got the standard Ceremorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds, Warped Landscape, and Myriad Landscape. So this deck relies heavily on artifacts, not just for the equipment purpose, but also for ramp. So I'm going to go through each type of spell for this deck. First off, we have Ember Cleave. It's a legendary artifact with flash, costs 4, 2 mountains, and 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you get to attach it for free, and equipped creature gets +1/+1, double strike and trample. Borrow Signet for some mana ramp. A Vorpal Sword. 5 and 3 swamps until end of turn. The sword gains whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player. That player loses the game. Otherwise, it gives them +2/+0 on Death Touch. Shadow Spear to give creatures +1/+1, trample and lifelink, and then you can pay 1 to remove hexproof and indestructible from your opponent's creatures. Treasure Chest is pretty cool. It's only 3 mana. Pay 4, sacrifice it to roll a d20. If you roll 2 through 9, you get 5 treasure tokens. 10 through 19, you gain 3 life and draw 3 cards. If you roll a natural 1, you lose 3 life, but chances of that are pretty low. And if you roll a natural 20, search your library for a card, put on the, if it's an artifact, you can put it on the battlefield, otherwise put it into your hand. So obviously you're going to use it to tutor out artifacts. Fire Shrieker to give a creature double strike. Soul Ring is Soul Ring. Darksteel Axe, it's 1, it's indestructible, it gives a creature +2/+0. Darksteel Plate gives a creature indestructible. Gold Vein Pick for some mana ramp. +1/+1. Whenever a creature does combat damage, you create a treasure token. Maul of Skyclaves. Attaches for free when it enters the battlefield. And then gives a creature +2/+2 flying and first strike. Arcane Signet for some more ramp. Basilisk Collar. Lifelink and Death Touch. Argentum Armor. 6 is a lot of mana in this deck. However, it gives the creature +6/+6, and then whenever it attacks, on the attack trigger, destroys a target permanent. So pretty good if you've got your commander on the field. Hammer of Nazan makes your creature indestructible, +2/+0. Great Axe, +4/+0. Helm of the Host creates copies on the beginner combat. If it's a legendary creature it's copying, it doesn't follow the legendary rule. It's pretty good. Some Swiftfoot Booties, and then Talisman of Hierarchy to add white or black mana as needed. Moving on to sorceries. Got Seas of Spoils, you discard a card, you draw 2 cards and create a treasure. Steel Shaper's Gift lets you tutor out an equipment. Open the Armory, same thing. In this deck it's used to tutor out an equipment card, put in your hand. Hour of Revelation is a board wipe, as is Dam. It can also be used as spot removal if needed, but realistically, in most scenarios, the board wipe option is better. Sigarda's Aid. Your R's and equipment, specifically your equipment in this deck, have flash, and whenever they enter the battlefield, you can attach it to a target creature. And then Fire Ecstasy and Arena for some more card draw. Instance. This is a aggro heavy deck. So, we've got some Rootborn Defenses, give your creatures indestructible, along with Unbreakable Formation, and Boros Charm. We've got the Despark to exile permanent with convert mana cost 4 or greater. Fracture to take care of artifacts, enchantments, and planeswalkers. Swords of Plowshares, Deadly Dispute, some card draw, and you get to create a treasure token, but you have to sack an artifact or creature. Path to Exile, Make a Stand, another card that gives creatures indestructible. Dark Ritual for some ramp. Cast Down, and Slaughter Pact for spot removal. And the creatures of this deck, even though it's Night Tribal, there are some other stuff, some other things in here to make it pretty spicy. Got Gadrak the Crown Scourge, In a deck like this, chances are you're going to have the artifacts you need for him to attack, but he's a 5/4 flyer, and he creates a treasure token for each non-token creature that died this turn on the beginning of your end step. Knight of the Even Legion, tap 2 in a swamp. He gets +3/+3 and Death Touch, and at the beginning of your end step, if a player lost 4 more life, he gets a 1/1 counter. Sultari Lancer has Shadow. The first strike is almost irrelevant in this. It's really just the fact that he has Shadow, which makes him practically unblockable. Wylith, Soul of Steel. When he has Trample, whenever he attacks, draw a card for each R equipment attached to it. Murder Strider for some spot removal on the instant side, and then he's got Lifelink. It's a good card just in general. Danitha Capation, Paragon. First strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, R's and equipments. Cost one less to cast. Worthy Knights, when you cast a knight, you create a 1/1 human. Sky Knight Legionnaire, 2/2 flyer with haste. Wintermore Commander, he's got Death Touch. His toughness is equal to the number of knights you control, and whenever he attacks, another target knight gains indestructible. Valiant Knight, other knights get +1/+1, or you can tap 3 and 2 planes to give knights you control double strike. Vandalish Marshal bumps your creatures +1/+1. Stoneforge Mystic. Whenever it's battlefield, you search a library for an equipment card, reveal, put it into your hand. And then you can tap 1 on the planes and put an equipment card from your hand onto the battlefield. Acclaimed Contender lets you search, look through the top 5 cards of your library for a knight or equipment, or a legendary artifact, and put them in your hand. But you have to have another knight on the battlefield for this. And Bell of the gives your knights +1/+0 when they attack. Also has Menace. Sky Knight Vanguard, and whenever it attacks, you create a 1/1 soldier creature token tapped and attacking. Rayav Master Smith, whenever a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, it gains double strike. Kembaka Regent, you create 2/2 white cat tokens for each equipment attached to it on the beginning of your upkeep. SRAM Senior Edificer, whenever you cast an aura equipment or a vehicle spell, draw a card. So there's quite a few equipments in here. Aspiring Veteran gives other knights +1/+1. Another shadow creature, Sultari Crusader. The Black Knight, it's a 2/2 with first strike and protection from white. And the White Knight, a 2/2 first strike with protection from black. We've got Attended Knight. It's a 2/2 first strike. When it enters the battlefield, you get to create a 1/1 soldier. And then finally for knights, we have Smitten Swordmaster. Curry Favor, the sorcery side, you gain X life, and each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of knights you control. And it's a 2/1 of lifelink. And finally, we run a Rose God of Victory. Indestructible. As long as your devotion to red or white is less than 7, it's not a creature. Creatures you control can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures, so basically gives everything menace. And then prevent all damage that will be dealt to attacking creatures you control. So, some protection. So it's an aggressive deck. Very low mana curve. It's only a couple things that cost more than 3 or 4 mana. And it's a lot of fun. So that is Syr Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale.